are about to journey into the past and discover one of the great leaders in history, without whom our nation would not exist. In war, George Washington led the fight for independence from Great Britain. In peace, he gave up power, chaired the Constitutional Convention, and served as the nation's first president, proving to the world a nation's people could govern themselves. His leadership defined America's governing principles, establishing the freedom, liberty, and stability enjoyed by millions today. Yet his thoughts were always of home. "I would rather be at Mount Vernon with a friend or two," he said, "than to be attended at the seat of government by the representatives of every power in Europe." After his passing, Washington's beautiful estate eventually declined, and his iconic house nearly fell to ruin. It took the efforts of a few patriotic women, led in 1853 by Anne Pamela Cunningham, to save and preserve it for future generations. They formed the Mount Vernon Ladies Association of the Union and raised money from Americans across the country to purchase the home. To this day, the Mount Vernon Ladies Association continues to preserve and protect this special place. As you explore Mount Vernon, discover the life and impact of George Washington. As his most famous eulogist wrote, Washington was first in war, first in peace, and first in the hearts of his countrymen, but also second to none in the humble and endearing scenes of private life. We invite you to his private world. Welcome to George Washington's Mount Vernon. It has been expertly restored to its 1799 condition. This was George and Martha Washington's showcase. Each room carefully decorated to display the wealth of a Virginia plantation and demonstrates George Washington's vision for the new nation. The center of the historic area is the Bowling Green. It is the large rival in the 18th century. George Washington depended on enslaved labor his entire life. At Mount Vernon, he maintained a workforce of several hundred enslaved individuals, as well as hired and indentured staff. We encourage you to learn about the people who worked and lived here, including the enslaved quarters, blacksmith shop, and spinning house. As you explore the structures, the Potomac River was Washington's lifeline for trade with Europe, and the Caribbean piers preserved. The result is a rare, It sits beside the 1929 marker, which is one of the earliest commemorations to enslaved individuals in the country. Agricultural pursuits, tradespeople who make and sell spirits from his original recipe. Return a display of original Washington artifacts and discover how ongoing preservation keeps this place alive.
यो ओदान छ हजुर अनि त यो बन्चरो रहेछ कोदालो कस्तो खाले कोदालो हुँदो रहेछ ए तेर्सो माथिबाट गरेर सिधा हजुर
काठका धेरै भाँडाहरू फलाउँछ काठका
आमा ल
बनाइरहेको ठाउँमा
छ बनाइरहनु भएको छ ल यतापट्टि आउनु देखाइदिनुहुन्छ उहाँले यता रहेछ
Let me know if you have any questions.
अब उताले हावा दिएरै आगो बल्यो तल
वासिङटनको कपडा बुन्ने
के त चर्खा यो त यस्तो ताम त हेर्नु हाम्रो गाउँमा पनि बुन्थ्यो त्यस्तो गरेर
Rooms, and I'll tell you about it. So you're in a separate building for a lot of reasons. Fire being one of the big reasons. It was common back in the day to have a separate building. So all the cooking would be done right there. At that fireplace, you'd have meat on the spit there going around, rotisserie. You'd have other food in those black kettles. Then you can be baking bread in that oven to the side, that little small oven. We know that Nathan Gray and Lucy Lee were two of the enslaved people that were in here, and they'd start their day at 4:30 in the morning because they gotta get that fire going and everything ready. On the table, we've got ingredients for ice cream. They did have ice cream, cherry ice cream here. They would get ice off the river in the winter, and they'd save it in an ice house and bury it. And then they would use this sugar, which is in those blue wrappers right here. That's how sugar used to come. And we would snip it off with that, the sugar snippers right there. So you've got the eggs, the cherry, the cream, and you would get it in a vessel and then have ice put around it, turn until it became ice cream. So you've got two rooms back here. The one on the left is called the larder. It's dug down a little bit deeper to keep things cold, as cold as possible. And then the room right over here is called the scullery, where they would be washing up these pots and pans. Building is original from 1775. Floor is not, implements are not, but the building is.
A lot of wealthy young men back then went to Europe to study. As his older half-brother Lawrence, he had studied in England, for example. But their father died when George was 11, so he couldn't manage that. So he spent a lifetime collecting and reading books. This is a fan chair with a pedal that moves the fan back and forth. High-tech visuals like that. The chair, well, that's a copy of his presidential chair. The original is in the museum. Now you're headed out to the kitchen, which is separate from the house. If you'll open that black door toward you, please. Open the black door toward you. Right on in, please.
Thanks.
Are the ones who maintain the rooms. Now the last thing to tell you is that these rooms have their own names. So I do want to ask if anyone can guess the name of that first room. It's the blue room, that's correct. That is the blue room. Now next up, this room is named after a person. That was a color, that was a person. It's named after a very important Frenchman who I've heard about already, the Marquis de Lafayette. That is Lafayette. He stayed in the Lafayette room when he was here. He's the man you see in the port.
Washington inherits the house after his dad died. He put his second story on in 1758-59. Grand Ballroom was started in 1775, finished in 1787. And this is the project which was finished up in 1776. When you guys go in the house today, you're going to have a lot of stories about the Washington family as well as the enslaved people who lived and worked here in Mount Vernon. You guys ready to go in?
Yes, sir.
Follow the path. How old are you today, Dad? How old are you?
He's turning on 70.
के हो त्यो आफ्नो काम कि सबभन्दा ठुलो मान्छे बन्नु
इन्जिनियरको शुभकामना
के खान्छन् भन्ने मलाई थाहा छैन
त्यसो भए त नजिक बसेको फोटो
हिरोसिमा र नागासाकीमा बम खसाउने यही प्लेन रहेछ
अमेरिकाले हो फसाएको त्यहाँ होइन
हो नि हजुर
African Americans served in segregated units led by white officers. They were deployed to the far reaches of the Western frontier. To the site of armed life, eventually they became known as the Buffalo.
आउँदैन फ्लाइट खाली उहाँहरू चाहिँ कति हेर्ने दिगदार भयो भनेर झर्नु भएन भित्रै गाडीमा हुनुहुन्छ हामी चाहिँ हेरेर आइयो भिडियो खिचिरहेको हो म